Welcome back to the DraftKings Set My Lineup Showdown, where I break down the showdown games based on expert projections combined with the Vegas lines to come up with our own values to try and figure out who's going to be your best captains and best flex options out of these DraftKings lineups. So let's jump right into the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Carolina Panthers we got going down later on this evening and start building some lineups. So let's look at our projections. All right. So here you can see Chris Hogan, his projection and his salary makes him the best valued flex player in the game. His projected points are not quite high enough to get him even onto the captain's list. So when I see stuff like that, you want to start comparing him to some of your other value plays to see if he's really going to be worth it. With your kickers projected at 8.25 right here for 3,400 only, and Matt Gay at 7.48 at 3,200. So you're saving about 1,200 points for the 6.3 projected Chris Hogan. He's going to have a little bit more upside than the kickers because he could grab a touchdown for you. But to be honest, I'd probably like the kickers a little bit more, even though my value has Chris Hogan ranked at the top. Christian McCaffrey is one of the highest ranked flexes, still at 26.85, and his projected points as a captain at 40.275 are so freaking high that he's the best value and best ranked captain, even though he's the most expensive captain. So essentially, DJ Moore is going to be your best play, or I'm sorry, Christian McCaffrey is going to be your best play. Uh, Needs to be in every single lineup that you build, essentially. At least that's what my game plan is going to be. If you're trying to build a contrarian lineup and you want to win it all, take some gambles and throw some without him involved at all in your game plan, and maybe you'll win out. But I'm probably not going to go that route with this game. DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, usually a little bit better value for these Panther receivers, but still you're going to see this every single week. Curtis Samuel ranked above DJ Moore in value. I'm going to like Curtis Moore usually better than DJ Moore on paper. But this week I might kind of go 50-50 with my lineups just because of how close they are in terms of their ranking. If I can fit DJ Moore in, I probably will. If I need to save the $1,000, I'll put Curtis Samuel in. That might happen when I make a decision to put a kicker in over Chris Hogan, or who else do we have up here that's pretty cheap? Dare Ogunbowale. I don't know how to say his name, but yeah, that's what we got going on with the flex players. With the captains, like I just said, we're going to have Christian McCaffrey as our star captain. And then we're probably going to build some lineups with the two receivers off of the Panthers. And I'll most likely do another lineup just in case it happens off of Mike Evans. Greg Olsen is playing, but he's got back injury issues right now. I don't think that his projection from the experts is high enough. We have some little injury adjustments that we did to him. That's why we have him down so low. We're probably going to avoid him in most of our lineups except for a couple flyers. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into this and see if we can build a couple lineups for you guys real fast. We said captain wise, we want to do we'll do a Christian McCaffrey and then we'll play around with Curtis Samuel and DJ Moore for our two lineups and see what we come up with. So Christian McCaffrey in as our captain. And what can we do from here? Unfortunately, there's not some huge value guys. As you notice, we're already into week one, and those guys that you can get for a couple $100 that are going to be potential contributors are kind of missing from the list, as you can see. So we got to see what we can do. We got 6,500 per player left. Ronald Jones and Peyton Barber. Peyton Barber should not be more expensive than Ronald Jones after what we saw last week. So we're going to go ahead and throw Ronald Jones into the lineup at only $5,000, which is going to save us a little bit of money. At the top here, we really want to get Cam, I think, in the game over Jameis. And we need to get some of these receivers in. But let's go see what kind of money we can create with a really cheap flex guy to bring those up. Let's see if we play the Panthers defense, or one of the kickers. Let's just put the $3,400 kicker in for now. We could do DJ Moore and Curtis Samuel, but then we're missing everyone at the top. $5 grand left if we do that. Perriman is supposed to be a pretty good value, I believe. Tampa Bay, we don't have any receivers for them yet. Um, to play along with the stack, we may want to just go Panthers defense here. If we're going to play more of a safe pick or a safe game, I would probably do this. This is actually a pretty solid lineup. Christian McCaffrey, Ronald Jones, Joey Sly, Cam Newton, Curtis Samuel, and the Panthers defense. We could almost do DJ Moore instead of Curtis Samuel, but we're short a little bit of money. We said that's probably how this would shake out. We could do this. We could pull that kicker out, put Matt Gay in. Let's say Tampa Bay gets some offense going, but they can't score any points. Tampa Bay gets the kicks. That leaves us $1,000, and you can go ahead and plug in DJ Moore instead of Curtis Samuel. So this is a pretty good idea here. What we did is we used my projections, and we did what's called a stack lineup. We're playing Cam Newton with Christian McCaffrey, who's a pretty heavy pass catching running back. Cam Newton could get his legs going, and we've got a pass catcher for him and DJ Moore as well. Let's see, what kind of cheap pass catchers do we got for the... Okay, so Ian Thomas. Remember, we've got the injury going on, so Ian Thomas is a little bit better of a projection. Merely 4 games because Greg Olsen was on the field for all of the snaps. Greg Olsen's still going to play, so I'm not extremely high on Ian Thomas, but again, that's something you could do if you want to get rid of your Panthers defense and put another pass catcher on the field for Cam Newton to continue to improve the chances of your stack with Cam Newton, DJ Moore, Ian Thomas, Christian McCaffrey catching the balls for you, Matt Gay and Ronald Jones putting up some points for the Bucks. So there's a lot you can do. There's actually a lot more options than I expected there to be with Christian McCaffrey set as your captain. It's going to be hard to stack both quarterbacks with Christian McCaffrey as your captain. But there you go. There's some things you can do there. As you can see, I'm expecting the Panthers to have a pretty dominant game. That's why I'm going heavy Panthers in my lineups. If you think the opposite, feel free to go heavy on the Bucks. Mike Evans, way too expensive for his projection. His projection, I think, is a little bit high. Let's hope he puts up more than 4.8. Otherwise, I'm going to lose all my standard leagues that I'm in. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump back into this and make a lineup with a value play, Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel caught 3 or 4 targets, played over 90%. So yeah, he's going to see some more looks than he saw last week, I believe. We made a bunch of captain lineups and he burned us. But we're going to go back to the guy that burned us, see if we can't keep giving him the rock and heat him up a little bit. All right, so Curtis Samuel in the game. I said Christian McCaffrey has to be in every single lineup that you set this week or you're going to lose. That's not guaranteed, but it's pretty close to it. Let's see. OJ Howard. What I'm trying to do right now is create some value because we spent a lot of money already. Cameron Brate, yeah, OJ Howard's going to dominate. Cameron Brate, I don't know if we want in. So I think that Brate is a viable option, but $4 grand is a little bit expensive for him. We're not making a Christian McCaffrey captain lineup. I still like Ronald Jones, man. That value is awesome. So let's do this. Curtis Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, Ronald Jones. Sorry for building a kind of the same lineup, the same guys in there. We still got 73. We can just make this a super skilled player lineup. We can get Mike Evans. DJ Moore. Now we got Jarius Wright. Who else do we got in here? Peyton Barber. No, Adair seems like he's going to become like some sort of pass catching back for them. I'm not really sure what's going on there, but considering what I've got going on, we're not playing a quarterback, right? We've got Curtis Samuel going off. We've got Christian McCaffrey going off. DJ Moore in the game. We can't do that without Cam Newton in the game. Mike Evans and Ronald Jones. So let's take DJ Moore out and see if we can't put another solid running back in this game. There we go. Now we want someone that's going to do good, but not. We don't need Cam Newton. We can't play either of the quarterbacks to make that stack happen. So we'll just play OJ Howard, just plug him in. Should we do that? Only 500 left on the board. This is a pretty good, like, these are all skill players. They're going to get the ball thrown to him. Curtis Samuel maybe won't get as much. He's not as like guaranteed here to be your captain. If you're not playing Christian McCaffrey as your captain, though, you might as well be making sure you're in a money lineup, or I'm sorry, in a tournament lineup. These lineups without Christian McCaffrey should not be your cash game lineups. Christian McCaffrey needs to be your captain in all cash games. That's at least my strategy. If you can find me in the cash game boards, play against me. You know I've got Christian McCaffrey in, so go contrarian to that and see what happens. I think I'll turn out all right. But anyway, this is what I'm doing. This is what my lineups look like. I'm gonna hop back over to my projections real quick so you can see where everyone falls. Peyton Barber is further down the list. Again, the only reason I put Peyton Barber in here is because I'm kind of going for skill players, and if I want to win, I can't put another receiver. I can't stack too many receivers. So Mike Evans and OJ Howard, that's already a little bit stacked for not having Jameis Winston have a good game. But what I'm kind of banking on is he throws a few interceptions, so he can still give these guys the volume they need, but end up not being himself one of the players we want in our lineup. So anyway, there's my stacks. There's my lineups. Thanks again for watching the show. Make sure you subscribe so you can see these every time I come out with them. Sometimes I'm a little bit early with them, but I'm trying to get closer to the game when I release these, because obviously this data can only help you so much when you're getting it, a few days before the game. So we're bringing it to you right before filming this right now, Thursday morning, 8:15 a.m. Eastern time. So yeah, go ahead and give me a subscribe. Check out the rest of my shows so you can be up to date and have the best projections and my odds when it goes to this game. Peace.